We live our entire lives running on a single, inescapable operating system. You put in the effort, you get the reward. Look at this flowchart. It's the basic equation of the material world. You put your time and sweat into this input box, say working a 9 to 5 or chopping vegetables, and the arrows push that effort right into the output box, giving you a paycheck or a hot meal. Action equals currency. The problem is what happens when we take that exact same economic logic and apply it to our inner lives. We swap the inputs to meditation, chanting, or fasting, and we expect the output to be enlightenment, peace, or a connection to the divine. The machine stays exactly the same. We perform complex rituals for hours on end. We hunt down the most famous, high-status spiritual leaders, treating their blessings like VIP access codes. We treat self-realization like a promotion we can earn, provided we just clock enough spiritual overtime. But treating the universe like a giant vending machine doesn't solve our unrest. It simply trades material greed for spiritual greed, without fixing the underlying problem. Decades go by. People spend half their lives collecting mantras and attending retreats, yet they still wake up with the same anxiety, the same internal conflicts, and the same exhaustion. While building a career demands relentless forward motion, acquiring inner peace actively rejects it. You end up swimming furiously against a turbulent current, burning massive amounts of energy, but moving absolutely nowhere. The friction comes from the tracker inside your head, the part of the brain logging how many hours you meditated or how many sacred texts you've read. The identity of the doer trying to win a prize is the exact wall blocking you from reaching it. Our aggressive attempts to seize inner peace are not closing the gap. They create the very friction that pushes it further away. Self-realization does not require adding a single new habit to your daily routine. It is achieved entirely through subtraction. That subtraction starts at the ground floor with basic human behavior. You have to eliminate hypocrisy, deceit, and flattery from your daily interactions. If you manipulate people, cheat in your business, or constantly perform to manage what others think of you, your internal foundation is corrupted. You are operating in a state of constant, low-level warfare. Absolute, unvarnished honesty isn't a polite moral suggestion. It is the strict, unavoidable entry fee for understanding your own mind. This brings us to the myth of the savior guru. Millions of people flock to brand-name spiritual leaders, paying exorbitant fees with the expectation that this leader will hand them a shortcut to enlightenment. A genuine guide operates under a completely different principle. In this tradition, the teacher is simply a darpan, a mirror. A mirror does absolutely no work for the person looking into it. It cannot carry your baggage or walk the path for you. It strictly reflects your raw, unvarnished internal state back at you, so you can see your own chaos. Paying a guru to save you is a waste of time. Their only real function is to force you into a brutal, unavoidable confrontation with yourself. Once you strip away the deceit, you hit the ultimate source of human friction, the state of chahye. It translates to the endless, looping demand of I want. Look at how this cycle functions. Saying I want God triggers the exact same machinery as wanting a sports car. It feeds the ego demands a result, and that result breeds more desire. It's a closed loop with no exit. True inner freedom only appears the exact second that transactional mindset is completely abandoned. As long as your mind demands a specific outcome, even if that outcome is heaven itself, you remain a prisoner of your own expectations. The psychological war ends the moment you reach a singular internal state, wanting nothing. But wanting nothing internally does not mean dropping out of society and sitting in a cave to rot. Physical action in the world has to continue. This brings up a concept known as satkarma. It's what happens when physical action overlaps perfectly with zero desire. It is selfless, natural action taken without any expectation of a worldly or spiritual reward. In practice, this looks remarkably ordinary. You do your job, you feed a hungry person, or you care for your family. You do these things simply because they are the necessary, frictionless responses to the present moment. By removing the expectation of a reward, the action is purified. The person acting is no longer fighting against the world, but moving as a seamless part of nature. We are conditioned to believe that the highest peak of self-understanding sits at the end of a long, exhausting climb of accumulated knowledge and suffering. Instead, it happens in a single moment. It hits the exact second you stop trying to acquire it and finally drop the heavy burden of your desires. What is left is a life lived with absolute honesty, zero friction, and total acceptance of reality exactly as it is. True enlightenment isn't a distant destination you achieve through relentless effort. It is the reality you instantly uncover the moment you stop trying.